Hey guys, so today I'm doing a review of the new Costco Brush Set. So this is the packaging for it. So it's a set of 10 brushes and then you get a brush roll as well. So I've already taken out all of the brushes and washed them, and I've been using them for about a week now because I needed to test them out so I can see the uses for them, see how they perform, see if they're ergonomical, easy to hold and handle and work with. So I'm just going to give you like an overview, tell you what I think about them, and yeah, let's jump right into it. So first, let me show you the little brush roll here. So it's a deep vampy purple, and it has kind of like that crocodile or alligator texture, kind of patent feel to it. Really handy. You can keep all your brushes right there, and then you have an extra little zipper here to put makeup and whatnot. So really handy for on the go, so I like that. Okay, now getting into the brushes. I've got 10 brushes to go over here, and I tried to pick out brushes that I already had in my collection to give you guys like a comparison. So the first one I have here, this is the Costco powder brush. And so it is very fluffy. By the way, all of these brushes are very soft. I didn't feel like there was no like poking or jabbing. The bristles are all super soft. This is a natural hair, and I would compare this probably, let's see, probably to maybe the MAC 150, which I don't own, unfortunately. The closest thing that I have is like the MAC 129. To give you an idea of like size-wise, quite a difference. This one's quite a bit larger and fluffier. It is a round brush, and density, it's nice and dense, but it's still fluffy, so it's not too floppy on your skin, which I hate floppy thin brushes. I like them to be dense and be able to move that product around, but not pick up too much, of course. So I think they made this one really nice. I haven't had a problem with it losing hairs at all. I've just used this for buffing in powder. So far I'm really happy with this one. Next is their cheek brush, and this is a flat top round brush, and I really like flat top brushes. I use these a lot. This is a natural hair, and it is nice and dense. You don't get any floppiness or not too much motion going on there, so you can pat on any of your cheek products. And since this is a natural hair, like I do use like this other Costco flat top brush, which I've had for, I don't know, about a year now. I use this for my foundation all the time, but this is synthetic, so I can use it with liquid. This one I probably wouldn't use with like a liquid because it's natural, so I don't want it kind of like soaking up the liquid. It's better for powder, in my opinion. So I would use this for any powder cheek products. So far, loving this brush. Definitely worth it. Next is their duo fiber brush, which they have marked as a finishing brush. Now, if you like to use stippling brushes, you will probably like this. I have the MAC 187 here also to compare. So it is a bit larger, but density-wise, it is packed fairly nicely. Like it's not too floppy. It does have a nice density feel to it. So a lot of people do like to use these for like stippling on, because it is a duo fiber brush. You can stipple on like your liquid foundation and then kind of buff it out. I personally don't get a lot of use out of these brushes, like my MAC 187, I have the 188 also, and I have an older Costco one too. I have these, but I just don't use any of them. But like I said, if you like stippling brushes, you'll like this just as much as probably any of the others. Okay, next is their, let's see, this is the foundation and concealer brush. So this is the new one, and this is the one that they released last spring, I believe it was. So at first, when I first got this, I thought, oh, what am I going to use that for? I'm not used to foundations that are quite so densely packed and round like that. So anyways, I don't use this for foundation. I use it for my Chanel Bronze Universal for contouring, which it works perfectly for. Now, to compare their new one from this current collection, or current brush set, it is even stiffer. So, and it is synthetic, it's not natural bristles. So it would be good for, any liquid or cream products. I still will probably continue using this because it's a little bit softer and I like that. This one, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure it will be good for people that want to apply concealer or any kind of buffing spots and whatnot. So this is one that probably won't get a lot of use from me, but I'm sure that if you like these style of brushes, you will like this just as much as any other. Okay, next is their Contour Kabuki. It has the nice angled cut. And this is, well, it's not super densely packed. It's not as packed as, like, say, the MAC 182 Kabuki, and I can compare the size here for you too. Now, it's not as densely packed as that, but it doesn't have a whole lot of motion, which is nice, so you can still get a nice buffing out of it. And it is nice to have the contour, so you can kind of make your way around the sides of the face pretty easily. So, and it is super soft. Okay, next is their highlighting fan brush. And I actually don't have any brushes to compare this to at all. But it is a synthetic hair brush, and I think this is probably nice for, you know, I guess some people might want to apply their highlight this way. Personally, I like brushes like this to apply my, like, cheekbone highlight. But this one I may use for, I don't know, maybe dusting on powder under my eyes, or maybe, you know, dusting away any fallout. I'm sure I can find a use for that. Okay, so that's all for face brushes. Now moving on to eye brushes. So I have their liner brush here, and it's just your basic kind of flat edge liner brush. And it's not too thick. I think you get a nice sharp line out of that. Personally, I do have a few of these style of brushes, and I really don't use any of them just because I prefer my MAC 208 brush. So to show you the size difference. So kind of similar. This isn't too big, although I just like the angle cut better for me. Next is their Crease I Brush, and this reminds me a little of the MAC 224 brush, although this is a slimmer, more controlled, and a little bit more pointy kind of version. Here is the MAC 224, which, by the way, I have never been a fan of. I've always felt like it's too big for my eye and I don't have the control that I need. Whereas this, that's exactly why I like this so much more, is because it's a little pointier and it's still fairly stiff. It doesn't fray out too much. And I know it's new, and I know this one I've had for a couple years, but this has always been fluffy and I've never liked it straight away from the beginning. So this is a lot more, like I said, it's more slimmer, like a much more slimline version. And I can get right in my crease and buff that out exactly how I want it. Whereas this, I just, you know, I have no control over this thing. It's just crazy. So this one, quite a fan of this. I like it a lot. Now, I probably don't love this as much as I love, like, my Sonia Kashuk crease brush, because that I have, like, complete control over. I like the short, you know, the short kind of stubby brushes. But if you like, you know, kind of like longer brushes, you'll like this a lot. And this is natural hair brushes. I think actually, yeah, all of the rest of the eye brushes here are going to be natural hair. Okay, so this is the angled eye brush, and this has a nice slant on it, a nice angle to it. I have only one other brush to compare this to, which is from the other Costco set that came out back in spring. And by the way, those brushes were large. They, like, the handles were large. They weren't like, I like them and I do use a lot of them, but ergonomically it didn't, like, fit my hand so well. So I'll just show you that right now here. So here we have the new one from this set, which all the handles are nice, it's easy to hold, it's thinner, you have more control. Here is the other version. And so it's a bit longer, it's bulkier, it's thicker, it's just more awkward to hold. So I feel like this is way better than the one they released in the last set. Also, the angle, you can see the difference in the brush head. This just has, you know, kind of more of a blunted angle, whereas this one is a little more sharper cut, which I like that one a lot. So you can use this for, I used it for buffing out, like, my crease area, and also you can use it, works really nicely for packing on the eyeshadow. Surprisingly, one of my viewers told me to try it for packing on eyeshadow, and it worked beautifully. So thank you so much for that tip. Okay, next is the all over eye brush, and I would say they nailed this brush. So this is a really versatile brush. It's kind of like a short, like really dense eyeshadow brush, so you can use it to pack on color. You can use it, because it is shorter and super dense, you can use it to kind of run under your lower lash line if you're lining your eye. You can use it out here if you're packing on color in the outer V and you want to like push it up into the crease. I think this is a really versatile brush and I'm really happy with it. I've really been enjoying using this one a lot. To compare it, I have a couple brushes here so you can just get an idea of like size-wise and how short it is. So this is the MAC 239 brush, and this is my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. So you can get an idea. It is shorter and just a little bit wider, but it's very, very handy. Okay, so I think we covered all the brushes, the brush roll. Now for cost, I paid $25.99 at my Costco location for this brush set, and I think that's a great deal for all of these brushes. And I've been purchasing every Costco brush set that they put out for the past few years, and I always enjoy them. Even if there's a few brushes in there that maybe I don't love or don't get a lot of use out of, there's always several other brushes that I love in every single set. And I have yet to have one of their brushes fall apart on me. So I think that's pretty fantastic. So if I had to pick my favorite brushes, I think for my favorite face brushes from this set would be these three. The Contour Kabuki, because it's just so soft. I love that. And then the cheek brush, because I love like every flat top brush. And then this large powder brush, just because it is just so soft and it's huge. I don't have any other brush like this, so I really like that. And I like how these are made. I like the handles. By the way, I should show you the handles. They are kind of like I don't want to say burgundy, it's kind of like a vampy purple, sort of matches, well, yeah, it does match the bag here. But it's like an acrylic, and then inside is the color. So I just think it looks really classy and pretty. Okay, so those were my face brush favorites. And then for eye brushes, I would say these three are my favorites from the set. The crease brush, the all over eye brush, and the angled eye brush. So those are my top favorites, top picks for this brush set. Okay, so I think I covered everything. If you guys have any other questions, just leave them in the comments below and I'll try to get back to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.